10 Best Picks presents the top 10 best laptop for college students. Starting at number 10. Asus VivoBook 15. The Asus VivoBook 15 costs $399 and, like some other lower-priced options from Asus, manages to deliver a premium look befitting a notebook twice the price. Given the price, the overall size and weight of the VivoBook 15, a laptop with a 15.6-inch screen, is a pleasant surprise as well. Unfortunately, things fall apart a bit from there. The display is dim and dull, and the battery life is short even for a laptop in this price range. Performance holds up okay for simple web work, but anything more taxing is going to be painfully slow on its Intel Core i3-1005G1 processor. There is one other Intel variant of the VivoBook 15 F512 available, the F512JAAS54, which steps you up to an Intel i5-1035G1 CPU and 512 GB of storage for $599. Alternatively, there's an AMD option, the VivoBook 15 F512DA, which includes a Ryzen 7 3700U processor and 512 GB of storage for $649. The left side of the laptop is somewhat sparse with just two traditional USB Type-A ports, both USB 2.0, but things get a lot more interesting on the other side. Watching the trailer for the live-action remake of Mulan, the VivoBook 15 couldn't reproduce the vivid red of the titular character's costume and left the rich and varied environments feeling drab and listless. The screen also suffers from a somewhat aggressive sweet spot when it comes to your viewing position. If you get just a bit off-center in any direction, the image falls off quickly. The Asus VivoBook 15 is an excellent-looking laptop for $399, but the performance and overall feature set just doesn't deliver on the promise of its design. The display looks great in terms of a minimal bezel experience, but that only lasts until you power it on, because the screen is dim and dull. At number 9. Lenovo Flex 5 14 2-in-1. The Lenovo IdeaPad Flex 5 14 punches far above its weight. This $600 2-in-1 convertible laptop offers better computing performance than many competitors that cost more than twice as much. It's also got decent physical connectivity options, a sturdy, well-designed chassis, and a comfortable keyboard. While the Flex 5's 14-inch display could be brighter and it could stand to lose a few ounces, it's nevertheless a screaming good value and an excellent mainstream laptop. The Flex 5's 360-degree hinge makes it more flexible than a conventional clamshell laptop. By folding the hinge past 180 degrees, you can prop the notebook up like a tent, rest it on the keyboard portion like an easel, or even fold it completely flat and use it as a tablet. Besides a more relaxed chassis design, the Flex 5 is able to offer such a potent blend of price and performance because of its 4th-generation AMD Ryzen Renoir processor options. Our review unit comes with a 2.3 GHz AMD Ryzen 5 4500U with an AMD Radeon graphics processor integrated into the CPU, plus 16 GB of memory and a 256 GB solid-state drive. With 6 dedicated processor cores, the Ryzen 5 4500U benchmarks similarly to many Intel Core i7 CPUs in more expensive laptops. It's a great leap forward for mobile computing. On the Flex 5's left edge, you'll find a power port, an HDMI 1.4b output, a USB Type-C port, and an audio combo jack. The USB-C port can be used to charge the laptop, and Lenovo includes an AC adapter with a USB-C plug, rendering the dedicated power port an anachronism. Since there's only one USB-C port on the entire laptop, it's worth asking if your retailer can substitute a barrel-style AC adapter instead. That way, you'll be able to charge the laptop and use the USB-C port at the same time. Thanks to a brand new AMD Ryzen processor, Lenovo's IdeaPad Flex 5 14 offers an extraordinary blend of performance and value for money, making it one of the best popularly priced 2-in-1 convertibles we've tested. Number 8 of my list. HP 14-inch Chromebook. Want an inexpensive Chromebook with a large display? The HP Chromebook 14 is a solid choice. A significant upgrade over the AMD model, the Intel version of the Chromebook 14 lasts all day on a charge and has a comfortable keyboard. The notebook also has a sleek white design, and the 1080p display is a luxury at this price point. While other similarly priced Chromebooks offer better performance, the Chromebook 14 is a good all-rounder for basic tasks. It's even one of the best laptops under $300. Port selection is good. The left side of the Chromebook 14 has a USB Type-C port, a USB 3.0 port and a lock slot. On the right side is a microSD card slot, a headphone jack and another pair of USB 3.0 and USB Type-C ports. HP deserves a hearty round of applause for offering a 1080p display on such an affordable laptop. Sure, the 14-inch panel isn't particularly bright or vivid, but almost anything is better than those outdated 1366x768 panels. The Chromebook 14 is a good choice if you want an inexpensive Chromebook for doing simple tasks, like browsing the web, sending emails or watching YouTube videos. While this Intel version offers more power than the underwhelming AMD model, its performance still doesn't hold up well against similarly priced laptops. Still, with long battery life, an attractive design and a 1080p display, you can do much better for less than $300. Coming at number 7. Acer Swift 3. The Acer Swift 3 certainly exceeds expectations for a budget laptop. Cheaper laptops don't usually come with big expectations, but the Swift line proves once again that a portable doesn't have to have a lofty price tag to be competent enough to impress, let alone consistently ranked as among our favorite ultrabooks. After running the Acer Swift 3 through a suite of benchmark tests for its CPU, GPU, and battery, we're pleased to say that there's a measurable improvement over last year's model. When it comes to playing video in general use, there's little to complain about with the Acer Swift 3. Running the notoriously resource-hogging Google Chrome with 24 tabs open was handled smoothly by the Swift 3, even when one of those tabs was playing through a Udemy course and another had an active Slack channel going. The system seemed to struggle a bit when trying to run several advertising-heavy tabs, but the same can be said of most systems, and really that's more of a societal problem than one limited to a single Acer laptop. The Acer Swift 3 2020 also handled some light gaming through Steam without any trouble and kept a solid frame rate going through the midpoint of a game of Stellaris, but when that endgame crisis hits and the Intel UHD graphics GPU is trying to track 200-plus corvettes and destroyers, weaving between a couple of dozen capital ships, shooting lasers and fusion torpedoes, the fans are going to kick in, and you will get a noticeable drop in responsiveness. The latest Acer Swift 3 is an excellent ultrabook for the masses, made better thanks to its accessible price, thin and lightweight design, and pretty decent battery life. At number 6. Acer Chromebook Spin 311. The Acer Chromebook Spin 311 is a great little Chromebook that has impressive levels of versatility, as well as satisfying interaction and usability. Just using the Acer Chromebook Spin 311 is a joy, and the design and build quality of this device are also immediately apparent as soon as you take it out of the box. The screen is pretty good, though a bit of a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it is a clear and easy-to-use touchscreen, and tough being well protected by the Gorilla Glass, but on the other it is a bit too small and also a bit too dim. A smaller model with lesser battery life and level of performance, but for more money? That doesn't add up. At first. However, its differences in design, build, use and what it actually offers probably justify it. And for a versatile 2-in-1 Chromebook at the lower mid-end of the price spectrum, a premium Google Pixelbook, this is absolutely not this is reasonable price territory. Throw in a sale and it's almost impulse purchase worthy. It'll be readily available from the usual retailers, however, in reality, it looks like the to-customer price in Australia is far higher than the conversion of the US or UK prices. One price on Amazon AU is safely above $700, for example. Hopefully availability in Australia will increase further, and prices will gradually decrease too. The Acer Chromebook Spin 311's versatility makes it a great all-rounder, supported by good battery life and great interactivity. For more information and price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. Halfway of my listed number 5. HP 15 laptop. The HP 15 laptop, or the 15DB0069WM, only costs $436, but for that relatively low price, you have to deal with a washed-out 15.6-inch, low-resolution panel and poor battery life packed in a dull design. While the HP 15 offers decent performance and features a comfortable keyboard, that isn't enough for us to fully recommend it. The configuration of the HP 15 laptop we tested costs $436 and comes with an AMD Ryzen 5 2500U processor with AMD Radeon Vega 8 graphics, 8GB of RAM and a 1TB HDD. HP has a version on its site that starts at $519 and is packed with an AMD A9-9425 processor with an AMD Radeon R5 GPU, 8GB of RAM, a 1TB HDD, and a 1366x768 display. Like the HP 15's namesake, the laptop's design is devoid of personality. The jet black design over engraved stitching on the lid is home to nothing but an HP logo, so it just looks empty. I've seen cheap Chromebooks that look classier than this. The interior of the HP 15 is a carbon copy of the exterior and with thick bezels to boot. I could barely even catch the speaker vent just above the keyboard because it blended in with the chassis so well. On the left, the chassis features the power jack, an RJ45 Ethernet port, an HDMI port, 2 USB 3.1 ports and a headphone jack, while the right side has a security lock slot, a RW DVD drive, 1 USB 2.0 port and an South Dakota card reader. It's hard to look past the HP 15 laptop's dull and dim 15.6-inch display when its resolution is only 1366x768. We're willing to get over poor displays on budget and mainstream laptops, but it's most disappointing when a notebook can't manage 1920x1080. Coming in at number 4 of my list. Lenovo Chromebook Flex 513. Can a metal-clad gaming laptop be had without dropping some serious coin? You bet. Acer's Predator Helios 300 has been making that possible since 2018. Now 2 generations matured, this 2020 version is largely a hardware refresh of last year's model with Intel's Comet Lake Silicon and up to a 240Hz screen. It put both to good use in our gaming benchmarks, where it produced best-in-class gaming frame rates while almost doubling the battery life of its predecessor. Asus's ROG Zephyrus G14 remains an outstanding choice for a more portable gamer, but the Predator Helios 300 checks just about every box, and then some if you're after a larger screen. It's our new editor's choice holder for mid-range 15-inch gaming notebooks. The Predator Helios 300 sits between Acer's entry-level gamer, the Nitro 5, and its top-shelf Predator Triton 500. It does a classier job of being in this middle tier than the Lenovo Legion 5i and the Dell G515 SE, whose all-plastic designs aren't as chic as the Predator's aluminum top and lid. The IPS screen on my review model has a 240Hz refresh rate, the unstated standard for premium gaming notebooks in mid-2020. Combined with a 1920 by 1080 pixel resolution and an advertised 3 milliseconds response time, it's a winning combo for high-speed fragging. In fact, the display is so smooth that it's easy to appreciate outside of gaming. Simply clicking and dragging or minimizing a window is a new experience. A practical anti-glare surface, ample brightness, and good color round it out. There's no NVIDIA G-Sync support, but it's hard to find that without spending a few hundred more. The 2020 edition of Acer's Predator Helios 300 is more compelling than ever thanks to its subtler badging and nearly doubled battery life. At number 3. Lenovo Chromebook Flex 513. Lenovo released one of the best Chromebooks of 2020 with its IdeaPad Duet 2-in-1, a 10-inch Chrome OS tablet with a detachable keyboard and touchpad. However, while its small size and performance are awesome for mobility, they're limiting if you need to spend hours using it for work. For that, Lenovo's 13.3-inch IdeaPad Flex 5 Chromebook is the better bet. It's also a 2-in-1, but it's more a laptop than a tablet. With the Flex 5, you're getting a larger display, a full-size backlit keyboard and better everyday performance with its 10th Gen Core i3 processor. Most Chromebooks that are less expensive than the Flex 5 typically have smaller displays, all-plastic bodies and slower processors. Spending a bit more for this Lenovo is worth it because it's simply better. The body is only slightly larger than 11.6-inch models like those commonly used by school districts. However, the larger 13.3-inch display here makes a big difference when scrolling through learning sites or just whenever you need more of your work on the screen all at once. Overall performance is better than I expected, given the system's 4 GB of memory. I didn't experience any sluggishness while working in Google Docs and Sheets, streaming video or music and doing basic photo editing. Then again, I also keep my number of open Chrome tabs under 20. The biggest issue is you can't add more memory later since the 4 GB here is soldered on. Battery life is pretty good, too, coming in at 11 hours and 22 minutes on our streaming video test. For more typical work use, I'd expect around 7 to 8 hours of use, but it's all going to depend on what you're doing. If you need a Chromebook as a primary device, the Lenovo Chromebook Flex 5 is an excellent option, especially if or when the price drops back down to its regular $410. Cheaper Chromebooks can certainly help you get your work done right now. The Flex 5's features and performance should keep you going longer, though, and for only a bit more money. For more information and price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. Coming at number 2, new Apple Macbook Air. Apple's Macbook Air has been a known quantity for years, a favorite among super thin ultraportables, but one that received only occasional, modest updates. We liked the model updated in early 2020, but its keyboard improvements aside, it was not a transformative addition. The Macbook Air's performance has always remained secondary to its price and size, but that paradigm has shifted with the introduction of Apple's own M1 processor. Alongside its new Big Sur OS update, Apple dropped its long-running use of Intel processors for this homegrown silicon solution, and in doing so, infused the Macbook Air with new life. The Macbook Air launches alongside a new 13-inch MacBook Pro and Mac Mini, also running on the M1 system on a chip. All are impressive, but the improvement to the Macbook Air impresses most. At $999, it's the best value among Mac laptops, especially when combined with its nearly 30-hour battery life and premium super slim build. Eclipsing its predecessors, the M1-based MacBook is our top pick Apple laptop for 2020. Unsurprisingly for one of the world's most popular computers, the design of the new MacBook Air is very familiar. Not much has changed since the previous version on the outside, and you'd be hard-pressed to tell the two apart from the shell. It still comes in 3 color options: space gray, gold, and silver. The all-metal design is sturdy and high quality, still delivering that envy-inspiring MacBook feeling so many years after its debut. We focused heavily on the keyboard for the previous MacBook Air review, and for good reason. Apple finally replaced its much-maligned butterfly keyboard, prone to issues with dust and broken keys, with its new Magic Keyboard. The latter is of course back again here, providing a much better typing experience than the butterfly keyboard and avoiding the malfunctions that plagued the butterfly mechanism. Next up is the display, also as brilliant as ever. Apple's 13.3-inch Retina display is once again utilized here, delivering 2560 by 1600 pixels in a 16:10 aspect ratio. This is non-trivially higher than the full HD resolution that's common on most mainstream laptops, but still well short of 4K. The latter is generally reserved for high-end content creator laptops that can benefit from the greater pixel count, but it's a drain on battery life and much more expensive. For the lighter kind of general use work a MacBook Air is intended for, the Retina display's resolution is extremely sharp without being overkill. And number 1. Acer Aspire 5 Slim. There are 2 types of laptops I've come to expect from Acer. Standout premium models like the Crazy Swift 7 Ultra Portable and Predator Triton 900, and mainstream laptops that are impossibly good deals, like last year's Predator Helios 300 and this year's Acer Aspire 5. For more than a year, Acer's Aspire E15 was my go-to pick for anyone who just needed a quick, reliable laptop for general use around the home. Sadly, that model is getting harder to find, but the Aspire 5 is an excellent alternative that's thinner, lighter, and still an impossibly good deal. The $530 configuration I tested, the A515-5450 WinDJ, bumps that base model's processor from a dual-core Intel Core i3 to a quad-core i5 and doubles the memory to 8 GB and storage to 256 GB, well worth the extra money. And, if you're able to spend about $100 more, you can get it with a new 10th Gen Core i5, entry-level NVIDIA MX250 discrete graphics, and a 512 GB signed Me SSD. That's a lot of performance for everything from day-to-day basics to simple photo and video editing, to gaming on low to medium settings. Like any budget-friendly laptop worth its salt, Acer puts most of your money toward good internal components and not into things like an all-metal chassis or an ultra-bright high-res touchscreen. For example, my Aspire 5 had a similar configuration to Lenovo's premium Yoga C932 in 1. Performance is about the same between the two, but the Yoga is twice the price. What's more, you can pop the Aspire's bottom off and add more memory or increase storage on your own, something fewer and fewer premium models will let you do. With this setup, you could easily load it up with a full-size keyboard and mouse, an external display and other essentials to use this as a desktop replacement. That's not to say the keyboard, touchpad and display need to be replaced, they're fine, all things considered, just that it can handle life on a desk as well as unplugged around the house. It has battery life to back it up, too, hitting 8 hours, 38 minutes on our streaming video test. For more information and price, check out the product links in description underneath the video. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel, share this video and hit the like button.